And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Friday, June 3rd. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. Friday morning, and we're glad to have you with us and glad to be on the air for Wilson Bank and Trust. This morning, we have Jessica Brummett here to do the commercial and talk about what she does at Wilson Bank and Trust. Jessica, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you today, and this is your first time to come and do this,
This
right?
is my first time, yes.
Well, tell us about being at Wilson Bank. Now, you are a mortgage loan originator.
Yes, sir. That's
but
right.
You probably haven't done that the whole time you've been there, or have you?
I have not, no.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to get hired right out of college. This is my almost anniversary date for 7 years at Wilson Bank and Trust. So
How many?
7.
7
Yeah.
years. 7 good years?
7 great years.
Your employer's glad to hear that.
Yes.
What attracted you to banking?
Well, I knew that I wanted to do something with numbers, something with math. My mom was always very particular about our money and our bills as a child growing up. And I remember sitting at the kitchen counter with her, watching her do her checkbook and doing her balancing, and just spent a lot of time with her doing that as a child. So I thought, hey, this is something that I can get on board with. This is something that I can take and run with it. And it's been a great run so far.
Well, you haven't always been a loan originator.
I have not, no.
You kind of start as a teller, maybe?
I did. I got hired in as a teller that kind of moved around to different offices to fill in where they needed during the summer months. Moved into opening accounts, did a lot of the online account opening, which we're thankful that we had now after the big COVID run. So, and then moved into the mortgage lending and have really just loved it.
Well, banking's in your blood then.
It seems that way.
Well, let's talk about loans this morning.
Yep. So June is National Home Ownership Month, and anybody that is anybody has known how crazy the market has been lately. So we're just wanted to remind our customers, remind people that are new to the area, because we have so many new implants that, we've got lots of different loan programs, lots of different options for people that whether you own a home already, whether you need to take advantage of some of the equity that you have in your property, or if you're a brand new homeowner, somebody that's never purchased a home before, we're here and we have available options to help you out.
You deal with all different situations like that, and I would imagine, especially with those maybe who are becoming homeowners for the first time.
Yes, that's right.
Is that somewhat rewarding?
Oh, that's great. That's my favorite part of what I do every day. Getting to meet with people that, when I first got married 6 years ago, remember sitting at a desk at the bank with one of our other lenders, having no idea what I was doing and remembering that feeling, trying to walk them through that process and say, this is really going to be okay. I know it seems daunting right now, but we're really going to make it to the end. Well,
I know you try to say yes more often, but sometimes you have to say either no or wait a while, I guess. But you have a lot of options, though, that you can go through first, I understand.
Yes, we do. We have lots of options. We have your traditional first-time home buyer options, which is just your conventional financing, but something that just in my conversations with customers, they don't realize that Lebanon and a lot of the surrounding counties are eligible for USDA financing, which is rural areas specifically, but it's 100% financing. So the only thing you're responsible for is bringing your closing costs to the table. No down payment that you're responsible for.
How important is one's credit history and a good credit rating?
It's important. It's important. We try to tell people, make sure you're keeping up with all those credit card payments. It's easy to, every store you go into, rack one of those up to get the 10% off today or 15% off next time or whatever. Just make sure you stay on top of those things.
Well, but the better your credit rating, the better your chances of getting that loan you're looking for, and especially if it's a mortgage.
Well, we do obviously a better credit score is better for everybody, but we do have programs that are available for people that maybe have lower credit scores. FHA financing, which is a government program, is a little bit more forgiving for somebody that might have a little bit of a lower credit score.
But you're talking about all these different things. It's you probably are a fast learner. You've digested all this fairly quickly, haven't you?
I've had to do a lot of studying, a lot of note taking, but yeah.
Well, we've heard, of course, the Fed's raised the rates, and they're talking about doing more of this. If someone is thinking about becoming a homeowner, isn't now, if they qualify, probably the chance of getting a better rate now than even 6 months from now? I mean, that's the way it looks to me.
That's probably a good bet. Yeah. So we prefer, if you're in the market, if you're ready, even if you're not, you don't think that you're ready, my recommendation to people has been, let's have a conversation. Let's see where you are. And if you're, if you fall in the criteria, you're comfortable where you are and you're ready to pull the trigger, let's get you in a position so that when you run across what I call the perfect one, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we're kind of in our last minute here. Anything you want to say before you leave this morning?
Other than, Wilson Bank and Trust, we're excited to help the people in our community become first-time home buyers, whether, you just want to come in, like I said, and have a conversation, just kind of understand what the process looks like to see where you need to be in order to make that step, or if you are ready to pull the trigger, we're here and we're happy to help.
Well, you've done a good job explaining all this morning, and I'm sure you do an equally good job with those clients, those people come to see you. Where are you located?
I'm actually located at our Mortgage Operations Center, which is on Legends Drive by Demas's.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much for being with us today. Jessica Brummett, mortgage loan originator with Wilson Bank and Trust. Of course, you're a member FDIC. Equal housing lender, still here, still independent, still committed to you. Excellence in banking since 1987. We're 10 and a half after the hour, and on this Friday, I want to welcome Judge Jimmy Lee. Judge, good morning.
Good morning.
It is nice to have you with us today, and let me explain. You were on with us back, I think it was in February. I know it was a snowy day, and you couldn't get out because of a snowy hill close to your house, and we did it on the phone. Sure. And I promised you then I'm going to have you back again, and it's finally, that finally has happened. You're here, and we welcome you again. How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you for having me.
Well,
I really was looking forward to it.
I want to talk a little bit about your background, because you've only been a judge for a short time. I think you worked in the district attorney's office. Is that right?
I was at the district attorney's office for about 14 years, and then I was with Lee & Lee attorneys for 6 years preceding that.
Well, what in the beginning, what prompted you to, I guess, to become a lawyer or in the law profession?
When I got out of college, I had thought that I wanted to go into the medical field. My father was a children's dentist, mother was a nurse, grandfather was a pharmacist here, and so I had a biology background, actually, and I had gotten a biology degree, went to work for Jerry Franklin at the health department. And the individual's position that I took had just graduated law school and went on to practicing law in Knoxville. And so really, Mr. Franklin and some family members said, you may want to pursue doing that if you enjoy what you're doing. We were doing certain regulatory things, inspecting restaurants and schools and child care facilities and things like that. And I said, you know what, I'm going to give it a try. And I applied, got in Nashville School of Law, and loved it from day one.
Well, you were mentioning your family here. Of course, your grandfather Lee once had a dry cleaning store.
He had a dry cleaning a business on the square, and my other grandfather was a pharmacist at Bradshaw Drugs. Both were on the square at the same time.
And your mother Judy has been out here a lot of time with the master gardeners, with other things. But I remember your father one time, and I guess I can tell this on the air a little bit, being a children's dentist, and I don't remember whether he was sent out by the hospital or whether for whatever reason I just invited him. That's been a long time ago.
Yes, sir.
But I'm thinking, this is gonna be an Art Linkletter type thing. We're gonna hear some children's stories. And the first thing he says when I ask him about what do they tell, he says, anything that they tell me, I tell them that it's between me and them, and I don't reveal it. And so I wondered, what are we going to talk about the rest of the time? But we made it through. And he was quite a success as a children's dentist.
Well, I sure thought so. Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you made it through the district attorney's office. What was that like? And of course. And we've had a number of people who have done that, I guess, in a sense, get their feet wet, get exposed to a lot of different things pertaining to law and court and so on, and then they're probably better prepared to be a judge. Would you say that?
while I was at Lee and Lee, I learned pretty quickly that I really enjoyed being in the courtroom. That was kind of where my passion laid, where I was very comfortable. And after about 5 or 6 years, I had friends at the district attorney's office and at the public defender's office, and they said, if you want to be in court, you're in court all the time. And interestingly enough, I knew a few people at the DA's office that said, "Hey, we have a spot open if you want to apply," and I did. Ended up getting that job, and they were right. We were in court all the time, but that is what I really enjoyed and really experienced everything from a minor traffic ticket to first-degree murder. And over the 14 years, I probably prosecuted somewhere north of 40-something homicides, and then I just was exposed to a lot of different things with a lot of different judges. And so after a time, to put it the way I heard Judge John Ash describe it one time, I decided it was I would really like to call balls and strikes. And that's the part of it that I really started looking at several years ago. And this opportunity presented itself, and I knew I had to try it.
Okay, well, that's a little bit of your background. We've got a lot more to talk about. Judge Jimmy Lee is with us, and this is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, and they've got the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $49.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation, safety check too. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic flow looks pretty good right now on 24 now. It's starting to build as that traffic picks up on 24 West coming in from Rutherford County. Still working that wreck over there on Briley Parkway at Karen Drive. And traffic looks pretty good right now on 65 down through Madison. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, their home of the world-famous cotton candy wine. Yes, they have other flavors. You can check them all out at GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
You have a vision. We have the financing to make it happen. At Wilson Bank and Trust, we have the resources that individuals, families, and businesses need to grow and achieve their goals. As an independent local community bank, we're able to provide loans with great rates, fast decision-making, and personal service from one of our local, friendly lenders. We believe in the power of possibility. It's why we say yes more often. Wilson Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Coleman and Company, thanks for joining us. Judge Jimmy Lee is with us. I haven't even introduced the judgeship that you have. We've got different names for different judges in our judicial district here.
General Sessions Judge for Division 2.
Okay, all right, I got it. Sometimes I have a problem keeping up with all of it myself. General Sessions Judge, Division 2. So is all the cases that you have here in Wilson County, really?
They are Wilson County. I am a county court judge, just like Judge Barry Tatum and Judge Inslee Hagan. My cases are allocated. They're all criminal cases or traffic cases.
Yeah. Well, you have the judgeship that Haywood Barry
Yes.
had.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I for some reason was thinking in a different direction, but that's beside the point. Yeah, I know that the General Sessions judges here have had, I think, a pretty heavy docket for a long time, and I know you try to keep that as clean as possible and work the cases as fast as you can, but you can only do so much. There's certain situations where it takes more time to get a case held and through and disposed of.
It does. Unfortunately, Judge Barry had the COVID situation where he was, there were Supreme Court rules limiting numbers of cases, number of people in courtrooms, and that was a really difficult for all the judges during that. But now those restrictions have been lifted. So what I'm trying to do is really rely on the clerk's office. I have 3 wonderful clerks, Heather Brown, Mona Sutton, and Jennifer Reeves, who work for Miss Debbie Moss, that are incredible. Sheriff Bryan's correctional officers, court officers, the probation department, and it really takes all of us working together. We have almost 25,000, or right at 25,000 cases that come through every year. So we really, we do have to work together. We have to be on the same page.
Well, I guess you get to know and work with Judge Tatum and Judge Hagan, y'all are probably pretty close together in a lot of ways.
We are. My first experience in the courtroom as a lawyer was in front of Judge Tatum, and so I think I'm very fond of him as both a judge and a person. Judge Hagan and I grew up together, went to high school, same time together, so we've known each other for an awful long time. Now, Judge Hagan is at the other building off of the old College Street building, but Judge Tatum and I are in the same hallway, or courtrooms right beside each other, so we see each other quite regularly.
You probably know, a lot about each other.
We probably more, we keep that between us, I'd say, but yes or no, we do. I think an awful lot of Judge Tatum.
Well, I'm really glad I asked you to come back out here, because I found out a lot more already than I found out in February when we were talking on the phone. But so far, so good as far as this position for you.
It is. We've been there for 5 months now. So as I said, we are able I rely on the clerks to set the scheduling and open things up, and they've done a wonderful job with that. So we're trying to progress along nicely, implement some things to hopefully help us with that caseload, some programs that really Ms. Gardner with the Public Defender's Office, or the Public Defender, I should say, and General Lawson, Jason Lawson, the district attorney, have managed to put together some programs like the PIC Center. It's a program that involves people that are first-time drug offenders going through a program that results in their case being dismissed, and Judge Berry had signed off on that understanding agreement to allow that to happen, and it has helped with some minor nonviolent offenses to be handled in that manner.
So what's the biggest thing on your docket day by day?
You mean as far as the most severe type?
I mean, what do you hear? What do you have more people coming before you that have been accused of, been cited for?
It is truly, it runs the gamut from first-degree murder to driving on suspended license, or trespassing, or a public intoxication type charge. What I find a big bulk of our docket involves driving under the influence. We do have a lot of domestic assault situations, a lot of driving on suspended, driving on revoked driver's license type cases, and that sort of thing. But
well, and I know a judge is supposed to hear a case, and you try to get all the facts, but there's the law that is supposed to be followed,
Yes.
And how I don't know how to ask this exactly, but how strict a judge are you, or is there a time when you can be lenient and feel that you're still following the law? Maybe give a guy, gal a break.
Well, I think you have to, number one, you have to follow the law. That's what you've taken the oath to do. I think you have to, where your discretion as a judge may come in is where, for instance, you have two individuals both charged with the same thing. Maybe it's a shoplifting, a theft of merchandise of a amount of $300 or something. Well, what do you treat the person that's the first-time offender that is there, that may be a single mother buying, or excuse me, not buying, but stealing diapers and formula, versus the person that it's their fourth time and they're there stealing electronics to sell? I think in that instance, the law is the law, and you maybe favor mercy over sacrifice. Maybe that's the best way to put that, whereas you would have a person you may give a probationary sentence to versus making them serve maybe some time in jail.
Don't know if you've been long enough to have a lot of repeat offenders, but when somebody continually does something, that's got to be a little irksome, or you
it's a consideration in sentencing.
When are you going to learn?
It is a consideration in sentencing, and there are individuals, unfortunately, that sometimes are not receptive to supervision and that sort of thing, that the only real way to, I guess, to punish, there's not a rehabilitative option in some cases.
Well, sometimes it means jail time.
It does.
Sometimes it means a pretty hefty fine.
It does. It does, and and again, it's the law, and that's what we have to follow. I think to be a good judge, you have to resign yourself to the fact that you're going to reach some conclusions you might not like or may not even agree with, but you have to you have to do it.
Well, are there any particular needs that you have? I mean, I know you want to get through the dockets. You want to stay up to date as much as possible. But as far as facilities, help, this sort of thing, are you three judges in pretty good shape?
We are in pretty good shape. I think we could always potentially, with the growth of this county and the just sheer number of people, means more cases for all of us, all three of us, and even that filters into Judge Collins and Judge Byrd, Chancellor Smith, Judge Kane. We're all getting more and more cases just simply based on the growth. And so in turn, then I think we're looking pretty close to probably needing another one in the future. Now, I don't know how far in the future that would be, but with respect to our facilities, I think we have added Magistrate Kennedy to assist with Judge Tatum's juvenile court. And so we could use some extra courtrooms. We could use extra district attorneys, extra public defenders, I think extra court officers. I think that all would help.
Well, the county, of course, has bought the property that was the High Church of Christ, and I think probably already using it. I know the parking space is being used.
Absolutely.
And there are plans for building there. Of course, that's still into the future. But will that involve you judges?
I believe it will. I believe it will. It will help us immensely, I think, in that regard. Right now, several Mondays, we have what's called an arraignment docket, and I think we're looking next Monday at one of these days where we have close to 300 people come through. So we can't fit them in the courtroom. They're typically spilled out into the lobby area and the security area. So there is a need for some space.
Yeah. Well, growth, we're seeing this all the time. As we have growth, we've got to build the schools. We've got to enlarge the jail. And then we've got to have more people to take care of the offenders like you, Judge. And it's just part of it. And which comes first? Well, I guess the county commission mostly has to decide that. But we're kind of on a roll, and I don't see any let up.
Doesn't look that way. No.
Anything else you'd particularly like to talk about this morning? We've got 3 or 4 minutes here.
There's one thing I wanted to mention. In our probation department, there's a young lady named Rebecca Cothran who has started something called the Little Free Library in the courthouse. And I just thought that was really interesting and wanted to mention it. She got book donations and things like that, and was able to set up a bookcase outside of Judge Tatum's courtroom. And for the children that have to come to court, they're able to take a book, share a book, take it home, whatever they want to do. And I just thought that was pretty remarkable.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you have many children that are actually in your court?
Unfortunately, when I do, they are either victims of a crime or are there with a parent or family member that has been involved in some fashion.
Is that difficult for you as a judge?
It is. It would be difficult, I would think, for most, but we do the best we can with that situation, and we understand that the need for courtesy, respect, and compassion for the young ones, for sure.
Well, by the way, I just had Tick Bryan on yesterday from the city, and he's talking about having more policemen and about we're having too much speeding and I guess running stop signs and traffic violations and this sort of thing. And as you're talking about all of this, and I'm thinking, well, this is probably more business, quote unquote, for you. I guess it's one of those things that's necessary.
With growth, I mean, that's just things happen, both good and bad, and some of the bad, it just requires that type. And it's about public safety. I mean, you could talk to the Chief Justice, Chief Hambrick, Sheriff Bryan, and I would say there's a need for all of them.
Well, I know we all get in a hurry sometimes, and it's easy to speed. It's easy to violate our traffic laws and so on, but it does seem to me that a lot of people don't think too well, and maybe they get a warning. A warning ought to be enough. If a policeman's kind enough to give you a warning, that ought to tell you, hey, let's watch it from now on.
It should, yes.
Oh, well, it's as we continue to grow, though, you're going to be busy, and of course that's I guess that means the judge is important. You you've got job security at least till another election.
Well, yeah, that's right. I hope so.
But you are enjoying it to have, you're glad to be General Sessions Judge, Division 2.
Division 2, yes.
And we're glad to have you here this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Just wish you the best, and we'll do this again one of these times. But we both agree it's a little bit different when you're on the telephone than it is live.
Very different. It sure is. But I'm certainly happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, Judge Jimmy Lee, thank you so much, and your wife Maggie, give her my regards. She's still doing home instead.
She sure is. Sure is.
And that's been her thing for quite some time.
Quite some time.
Yeah. Well, good to have you today, and we wish you well.
Thank you so much.
That is part one of Coleman and Company. We've got more, so please keep it here, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:29. Let's see what's happening on the roadway. It's all brought to you by our friends at Absolute Kubota. Large inventory of new and used Kubota mowers, RTVs, tractors, hay equipment, and more. Come in Saturday, free popcorn. Check out the new Kubota products. 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. They were dodging some debris a few minutes ago. Sections of 440 over near Nolensville Pike still looks pretty good right now as far as really bad interstate accidents now. There's lots of radar out here, that's for sure, on 24 coming in through the Jolton area. And that's starting to build actually pretty good. All the traffic from Montgomery County headed towards Nashville. It's on the increase out here as well. Briley Parkway at County Hospital Road. Gatlinburg Wine Cellar, they're home of the world famous cotton candy wine. Check them out today, GatlinburgWineCellar.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
A dry day ahead for your Friday. We will be climbing to 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Look for temperatures to dip to 54 overnight. Saturday, hot and dry with a high of 84. Rain chances increase for Sunday. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number 1 Ned.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part 2. It is a Friday, and Fridays at this time, we welcome our friends from C&D, from Exit Rock Stop Realty, the C&D team, and that is usually Miss Judy and Medina, and today is usual. So, good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Medina, you might say hello again.
Hello there.
All right, we're glad to have you, and we're not going to make a move without you, okay?
That's right. Better not.
I got
Better not.
You beat me to it.
Well, they're located at 1330 West Main in Lebanon. They're great people, great service. Somebody answers the phone 24/7. People you can trust. And we're just always happy to see you on Friday because that means the weekend's about upon us.
That's right.
But we usually started off with Miss Judy, and what do you got for us today?
Well, I was going to talk a little bit about one of the agents in our office today, Diana Cavender. She's been on here before on the show, and she's one of the great agents in our office. I'll tell you, she's doing a really good job. She sells insurance also on the side, but she has been an agent for several years now, but she's really taken off and has learned a lot, and she's listing houses and she's selling houses, and she's one of those agents that takes it really to heart and takes really good care of her clients. And she's got a new listing out there on Bryan Street, and she's going to have an open house this weekend. And I wanted to tell you, invite people to it, but she's going to have it on Friday afternoon from, let's see here, she's going to have it from 4:30 to 7, and then on Sunday, she's going to have it open from 1:30 to 4 on Sunday afternoon, and then she's going to accept offers all the way until Monday afternoon until 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking for a house, you might want to come out to the open house. It's at 1609 Bryan Street. That's out at Christy Jordan. And the house, I've been to the house. It's a ranch house. It's beautiful. It's a little over an acre. and it's been remodeled. It's got a detached two-car garage, a big backyard. They've done a great job remodeling the house. And it's three bedrooms, 2 baths, and it's just a great house. And she'll be out there all those hours. And if you can't come during the open house, just give Diana a call at her office, and she'll be glad to meet you out there and show it to you. But she's just doing a great job. She was going to Salina, I think, last night to show houses, and we just, she does a lot for the community too. She's our kind of what we call the agents that we like to have in our office. She does a lot of stuff, the community. She's in Kiwanis, she's in Wilson One. She's a secretary, I think, for several organizations. And she does the Wilson Rides. And we love it when we see the sign on her car that says Wilson Rides, because that's a great thing, for our community. She takes her time out of her day, as busy as she is, and goes and takes people to the grocery store, to the doctor. And I said, Diana, that's really great of you to take time to do that. And a lot of people, it's just not going to take the time to do it.
Well, I know Diana, and she's really a nice person.
She really is, and we're just fortunate to have her as an agent in our office, and that's the kind of agents we always want to have and surround ourselves with.
Yeah.
And she's turned out to be really, really a good real estate agent. So if you're looking for a house, just give her a call, but do go see her at our open house this weekend, and it's at 1609 Bryan Street in Christy, Jordan. So I'm letting Dana talk now.
Medina, you going to do the lesson for us today? You're going to be the teacher?
Now, I don't know about a teacher. I don't know about that.
But is it your turn?
It's my turn,
right.
though. But I wanted to share with you a listing that we have in Lafayette, Tennessee. It's Macon County, and it's 1509 Hillwood Circle, and it has a new price of $279, and it's 3 beds, 2 full baths, and it's a little bit under 2,000 square feet. It's right at $165 a square foot. And so in Lafayette, it's right inside the city limits. It's on what you want to call a corner lot, but it's not on the corner, but it's like in a cul-de-sac type of deal. Mm-hmm. And it has mature trees, shaded everywhere in the front and the back. It's an open floor plan. It has a carport there for you. It has all the bedrooms are carpeted, 3 large bedrooms, and then the bathrooms are tile, and the kitchen is all remodeled, and it has your cooktop and your wall oven and your microwave and dishwasher and everything, but it has a large kitchen for you to have an eat-in area and everything. But the main thing here is the yard is beautiful, and it's on an acre lot.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking to be in Lafayette, Macon County, you're close to the school system, you're close to the interstates, and you're right there in the city limits. This is a great house. It's all brick. It's a ranch. It's well maintained. Give us a call for that one, but it's $279. So we'd be glad to show it to you. If you know anybody else that's interested, we'd be glad to take it to them and show you. And anything else here in Wilson County, of course, like I've always said, we show in Wilson County, but we also show in the surrounding counties because you don't want to make a move without us. I stuck it in there.
And you are looking for listings?
I'm always looking for listings because we have a pocket full of buyers that are looking for houses that there's not enough on the market right now. Mm. And so if you're interested in putting your house on the market or knowing what your house is worth, give us a call, because right now a lot of people, you want to put your house on the market because the people that are needing to move here need to move here before school starts back in August. So they want to get settled to get their kids back in school. So right now is a great time to do that, and we can tell you how to get it on the market, what you need to do to get your house on the market and get it on there and get it sold.
Yeah, and another thing, when we talk about people you can trust, you've been here in the community for all these years. There are a lot of people who have trusted you, no doubt, and I think if you go to some of them, they would offer good recommendations. But the point I was going to make, if you want to know what your house is worth, you don't want, some people would tell you anything.
Right.
What they think you want to hear, you're going to tell them how it is. And
we better tell them the right answer, because if they decide to sell it and we can't sell it for that, they're going to be really upset. So we got to tell them the truth up front.
That's the way it goes.
That's right.
Well, we hope you have Great weekend, great week, and I guess we'll do it again next Friday.
Yeah, and I want to say a happy birthday to my brother. He's the same age as me today, but we're not twins. He turns the same age as me. He turns 70 today.
All right. Medina, you have the last word.
Don't make a move without us.
All right. We'll see y'all next week. Miss Judy Medina Hemantol, the C&D team, Exit Rocky Top Realty, 1330 West Main in Lebanon. Great people, great service. They're people you can trust. And we're 21 before the hour. I've invited my friend Jeff Dixon to be my guest here for part 2 on this Friday morning, and he is with us live in studio. Fairly recently, retired, I think,
yes, sir.
from the drug court. But it's good to see you. You even look a little tanner than.
I've been working outside. I got a little time to work outside. Good morning, Mr. Coleman. Thank you for this opportunity.
You do look good, and I had thought that when you retired, maybe one of these days we'd have this opportunity, and it's kind of presented itself in a hurry here. But every once in a while, I have a situation where I'm sort of begging, and I called you yesterday and said, "Hey, you haven't been retired too long. Come and let's talk about some things." And you said okay. So I am glad to see you. But you distinguished yourself and kind of plowed new ground years ago when we started the drug court. I think Judge J.O. Bond probably started this, but it had to do with the judicial district and Tommy Thompson and 15th judicial
15th judicial district. Yes, sir.
And it was an opportunity. We're not going to rehash a lot of history here, but an opportunity to help some people who had maybe fallen through the cracks, but were able to be put on a program and given pretty strict parameters, and if they followed this, maybe in lieu of going to jail, they got straightened out. And you have some people, maybe 25% or so of those you dealt with.
You got a great memory, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You did good. We and it's hard to believe as we talk about it 20 years later. At the time, it was kind of a revolutionary. It was kind of a radical idea. Right. You were going into jails and you were talking to people that were folks that were in jail because of a drug or alcohol addiction, and the community at that time, it really took a sales pitch for the community to embrace it the way they did, and they really did. This area, Wilson County, local elected officials, the members of the judiciary, people of the community, like you, Mr. Coleman, gave me a chance to come out and talk about the program. Embraced it and kind of changed that perception that there were some people in jail that, given the opportunity, given treatment, they would see the error of their ways, if you will, and would re-enter society as truly productive members. And so at the time, it took a little bit of a sales pitch, but it's really grabbed hold, and it's amazing to sit back and look the past 20 years, and as we have time, I'll even share another story about some of our graduates to see where the program has come from and where it's at today. It's truly amazing. It's really heartwarming, and I was very fortunate to have been a part of that. Really.
Well, I want to know, but I guess you became eligible to retire, and we do get burnout or decide it's time to hang it up and do something else. What precipitated it? It seemed like it came all of a sudden.
Well, I did. I finally reached the age, and my wife, and I'm sure several people listening know Lisa, Lisa Dixon, with the school system for many years. She had retired about 2 years ago, and we saw this as an opportunity while I'm not going to call myself physically fit, but while I can still climb stairs, I wanted to be able to get out and maybe travel a little bit. And we've got 3 wonderful grandkids, and spend a little time with them. And I was just telling folks in the hall earlier, I've been working on 30 years of projects. I think I've got light bulbs that need to be changed 30 years ago that I'm finally just getting around to doing. So that helps. That helps. It gives me an opportunity to do that. And I don't know if it was burnout. I will tell you that in order for programs like this to grow, sometimes they become ingrained in systems and thought process of the folks run the program like myself, and I was doing stuff based on training that was 20 years old. Maybe it was time for some folks to come in and interject new ideas in order to take it to the next level, and I realized that.
Well, we need to go to a break, but in a minute. But what has happened since you left? Who's in charge? To briefly describe it.
There's a new director, Ms. Paula Langford, and I think you may have met her a couple of times, Mr. Coleman. She had worked with the program since the start. I started in August of 2002. And she started in September of 2002, and she's been with the program pretty much since day one. She provided that experience and that knowledge base to where it could just continue operation without any interruption, which was good. We've always been fortunate that we had the same central structure with our drug court team. Judge Kane, who has been there since Judge Wooten's retirement. So he's been established, does an excellent job. We just recently changed our liaison with the district attorney's office, and we had Assistant District Attorney Jimmy Lee as our liaison, and of course he was your guest for the first part of the show. He did an excellent job with drug court, and I expect no less with General Sessions Judge. And Mr. Javen Cripps is now our liaison, and another vital member of the team, Miss Shelley Thompson Gardner, who is she started as our liaison with the Public Defender's Office, and now is the elected public defender who actually sits in there every Friday morning. And it doesn't seem like a big deal, but that's really a big deal, because you have the elected public defender for the district that makes that commitment of time to come and participate in this program. It's stuff like that makes it successful, really.
All right, Jeff Dixon's my guest. We'll talk more after this break here on Coleman & Company, FM 98.9.
And it's 7:46. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford. Get $50 off, $250 repair offer to owners of 4 to 10-year-old Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury vehicles. Bates Ford, 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. TDOT was moving a stalled vehicle a few minutes ago, right where it's very heavy on 65 southbound just before Trinity Lane. Now it's pretty slow down through there. Right on schedule, actually, on 65 south as you come past the 24 interchange. Traffic on 24 is starting to pick up even more coming out of Rutherford County. It looks good. I-40 through Wilson County around 109. Just watch your speed. Hey, PensacolaBeach.com has everything you need to book your next getaway. Log on to PensacolaBeach.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Daddy's Happy Father's Day to all the dads whose hands have worked day and night to provide for their families.
And to all the dads who have served our country in any capacity.
Dads are special. If your dad is not here to hug, find that special dad and celebrate him for Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, and remember, don't make a move without us.
Call Judy Cox or Medina Himmentoller at Exit Rocky Top Realty. C&D Team 443-3130.
Coleman & Company, thanks for joining us. I don't know that, Jeff, that seemed like a short break. But you and I we have a lot to talk about, some catching up to do, some stuff like that. But it, again, is good to see you. Now, Jeff, of course, as we've talked about for the first half here, was a drug court man, coordinator, whatever. And when was your official retirement?
Actually, it was the end of February, and just the way that it fell with regard to my age, my birthday, and some time that I had built up. And we go back far enough to remember, Mr. Coleman, when I worked for the Tennessee Department of Correction. I was a probation officer here many years ago before we started drug court. So I had a little bit of time built up, and that sounds funny putting it that way. I sound like some of the inmates I talked to. I'd built enough time to set a retirement date or release date, if you will. And it just, it did seem like it materialized mighty fast. And I enjoy retirement, but the opportunity I had was wonderful. And really, and this gives me an opportunity, again, to not only thank you folks here with the radio, and I can't tell you how much I do appreciate it, the folks I worked with the judicial system, the county commissioners, my staff at drug court. And I was fortunate enough to be in that lead position, so I got all of the acclaim, if you will, but it was these other folks that really did the hard work, and other folks that took a real chance. You take our judges who face election every 8 years, and to come out in support of a program that actually gets felony offenders out of jail. You know, that takes a lot. That takes a lot of commitment and.
There's some people on the surface, at least on the start, don't feel too kindly towards something like that.
No, sir, they don't. But let me firsthand, and this is my story. And after 20 years, you know, we've had several folks that have graduated the program and have gone on and to this day are doing well. Several of them are small business owners. Some of them maintained same employment for since they graduated the program. And actually, as part of my retirement, I was doing a little plumbing work, and one of the gentlemen that graduated the program a few years back, he actually came out the other day and helped me with my plumbing. So, and it's stuff like that I really appreciate. And since I've retired, I'll have former graduates that'll call me up, because when they graduate the program, they get my personal cell phone number. If anything, you know, if they need to just shoot the breeze, or if they got a question, or if they feel like they're in a time of crisis, I say, call me. You know, it's not just a 9-to-5 job. It's you know, it's kind of call me. And I still have them that reach out to me just to check in. They said it feels like it's kind of reversed now, that they need to check and see how I'm doing. So, and that's pretty nice. It's pretty rewarding.
Well, I know you, but we've never talked sports a lot. I know you've got 2 children, a son and daughter.
Yes, sir.
Katie,
I'm very fortunate. Katie is my youngest, and she's married to a wonderful gentleman, Mr. Miles Dillon, and they have a terrific. They have a terrific son. I've got a terrific grandson, Tucker. Yeah. And then my oldest is Josh, and he's married to Brandy. Josh is a fireman. Very proud of that.
What's Josh doing?
He is actually a lieutenant for Laverne Fire. So been there for about 8 years and doing really well.
Well, at one time he was working for the road department here.
Yes, sir.
And I knew him a little bit then.
He's pretty social. Yeah, Josh. There's a period of time I went through life, I don't think people knew my name. They just knew me as Josh or Katie's dad. So, and but two wonderful grandkids there, Jax and Jace, and I'm very fortunate. His wife Brandy, and they actually live out there on the same farm where we do. So I'm very lucky with that too.
Well, are you doing any farming?
Doing very little, but yes, I was actually working in the, and that's the funny part. I take great pride in my tomatoes, and I don't even eat tomatoes, but I got some beautiful looking tomato plants out there. I'm telling you, these things are, I got a call from Nashville Airport. They're so big, they want me to trim them because it's interfering with flight plan. Would you believe that? I'm working on my farm stories now. So, but no, I do have some nice tomato plants. So it's a good, nice little garden.
Well, you said your wife has retired?
She did. She was with Youth Links, and
what kind of prompted your decision?
It did. Yeah. She had been there many years, and when their program was not renewed, she took that as an opportunity to stay home and start taking care of the grandbaby some. And then all of a sudden, 2 years later, I had the time and the opportunity. So, yeah, I decided it was probably a good idea to go ahead and retire.
All right, now some people will just retire and you don't hardly hear from them anymore or whatever. Others will say, "Well, I could only sit under the shade tree for so long. I had to do something else." Where are you going to fit into that, or do you know yet?
You know, and I guess I'm still really trying to feel my way around with regard to that. I did have an opportunity that presented itself with another program that incorporated treatment and the incarcerated population, and we talked briefly about it. I want to take a little time and kind of I don't know, refocus, maybe find out what I want to do. I think right now where I'm at with just working around on my little farm, I don't see myself becoming a hermit or anything like that. I still want to get out occasionally and be part of the community. But I really I think right now, I want to kind of take some time just to I don't know, recharge the batteries, if you will.
Well, you had done any trips yet?
I did. We were fortunate enough. I don't know. We did take a little cruise. I like cruises, and we took a cruise to the Dominican, and it immediately ran aground. It was the ship that ran aground, and we sat in Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic for 4 days. And my kids were worried. Oh my goodness! I mean, if you gotta be stranded in a 5-star hotel. You know, be able to eat what you want, just lay around the pool all day. It wasn't bad, but we were actually stranded in the Dominican. Getting back was tough, but that was my first. That made me rethink the whole retirement thing. But that was our first trip, was to the Dominican, and we got stranded there for about 4 days.
Well, you got a happy ending to the story.
It's
nothing really bad happened except you were detained for 4 days that you weren't planning on, I guess.
That's right. I missed two. We were supposed to go to St. Thomas, and we wanted to do that, and I missed that part of it. But the cruise line was very nice to us, and it wasn't like Gilligan's Island or anything. I mean, we had all the luxuries at home, so that part of it was pretty nice.
Are you a sports enthusiast at all? We have never.
I do. I like sports.
Right. What do you like?
College football. I do like college football. I like to watch baseball. To me, it's probably one of the most relaxing. You know, it's a thinking man's game, and I've heard you talk about that. I know you're a big Reds fan. I was a Braves fan up till Cox retired, and then I quit. You know, when you started losing Maddox and Smotes and some of those guys, I quit following the Braves, but which is a few years back, dating myself there. But I like relaxing professional football or professional baseball is pretty relaxing. And then if I want to get all revved up on Saturday, I follow those Tennessee Vols.
Well, by the way, I probably need to make an apology here. I had Tim Leeper on yesterday. He and I are both Cincinnati Reds fans. I do think I keep up with them a little better than him, except yesterday he says they play Washington tonight. Oh, no, they're still in Boston. I was wrong. They only played 2 games in Boston. They came home to Cincinnati. They won, I think it was 7-1 or something last night. But anyway, I just wanted to make my apologies to Tim especially because he was right yesterday, and I didn't know what I was talking about.
The Big Red Machine.
Yeah.
Gosh, those were. Now I did follow Cincinnati back in the day.
Yeah, that was in the 70s.
Yep.
Long time ago.
Johnny
Bench.
And
since we are talking baseball, and I've mentioned this once before, but if you haven't been to the Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York, and you have an opportunity, go. I told this story. Our regular listeners, I hope you don't mind hearing it again. But anyway, I have a brother who's 7 years younger than me, and his health is deteriorating. His wife wanted him to get to go see that while he could, and invited Helen and me to go. So we flew to Albany, and Cooperstown's about an hour and a half southwest of Albany. So we drove over and spent the day there, and they were really nice people. But you see Johnny Bench and Joe Morgan, their Hall of Fame plaques are side by side there, and I got a picture of them. There's several of the Big Red Machine that's in the Hall of Fame.
It's well worth the trip. That's
I enjoyed it so much, and the people there have just really bent over backwards to help you, tell you you need to see the second floor first, and then the third floor, and then the basement, and where everything is, and all that sort of stuff. So anyway,
well, I had to try that out in my retirement. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that sounds like a nice trip. Yeah.
Well, anything else? You say you like cruises.
I do. I do enjoy that. And right now we're and actually probably through this summer. It'll be this summer or the end of the summer before our schedule starts. The grandkids are going to start going to school. Be honest with you, our oldest one will be starting kindergarten. So we're going to see the grandkids get started in school and get settled, either kindergarten or preschool. And then I see us probably doing a little bit more on the road, a little bit more. We still try to get out and do some weekend trips. But after this long, in a program like this, and what Lisa did too, serving as the director of Youth Links, after doing that for 20 years herself, you become really vested in the community. So I don't, whatever we do, I don't see us, just separating ourselves from Lebanon, Wilson County. This is home. You want it better for your kids and, in our case, your grandkids. I'm sure you feel the same way. So you see yourself being involved. But, right now, maybe recharge the batteries a little bit and see what the next opportunity is going to be for me. I don't know what it is yet, but.
Well, I appreciate you being here today. Enjoyed it so much, and we'll do it again sometime.
You're very kind. Holler at me anytime, and again, thanks.
And if I need a guest host, I know you're.
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, just holler.
Jeff Dixon, thank you so much. That's it for Friday, and until Monday, I wish you a fantastic day.